Hi, I'm Chris Carosa, and welcome to this week's special edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. As you know, this past week is our annual double edition of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. That means that we won't have the mayors and supervisors talking. Instead, I've got a special treat just for you. It's a 5-minute teaser. If you can last through that 5 minutes, I'm going to give you a chance to go and find out a little bit more about yourself. This is for a presentation that I'm doing on Thursday, January 7th for the Mendon-Honeoye Falls Historical Society, 7:30. It'll be on Zoom. You don't have to leave your house. You can get your link right up on your email. I'll tell you how to do that in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the teaser.
Before Honeoye Falls was a village, before Mendon was a town, before Monroe was a county, there was a gathering place atop the crest overlooking the falls of Honeoye Creek.
This is the story of that place.
From tavern to hotel to temple, a story of pioneering fellowship. Pioneers come from all places. Pioneers come from all times. Zebulon Norton was a true pioneer. Born in Vermont in 1791, he built 2 mills along the powerful Honeoye Creek Falls in what would eventually become known as West Mendon. This fledgling community soon drew more interest, with several major roads, the same roads we use today, being built in the first decade of the 1800s. Pioneers come from all places. Pioneers come from all times. So popular had this crossroads become that, before being commissioned as a captain and raising a company of volunteers to defend Buffalo during the War of 1812, Abraham Parrish, originally of Connecticut, built the growing hamlet's first tavern just down the road from Norton's Mills. By 1821, locals had begun to refer to the bustling business center as Norton's Mills. It was the location of dozens of commercial enterprises, from mills to machine shops to stores to service outlets. It even had a doctor, a tailor, a school, and a church. In the middle of it all was Parrish's Tavern, a place to gather in good fellowship after a hard day's work. Pioneers come from all places. Pioneers come from all times. Abraham Parrish was more than just a pioneering innkeeper. He owned several businesses, including, eventually, a boat on the Erie Canal. Besides the 14 members of his own family, he raised 5 orphans. Parrish kept the tavern for several years before selling it to John Case, who then sold it to Daniel Gibson. The wood-framed inn soon met the fate of nearly all buildings of that era. It was consumed in flames and burnt to the ground. Not to be dismayed by this unfortunate event, Gibson built a new building, a brick building, on that very same spot. The 2-story structure became the Falls Hotel, and it would fall into the hands of John F. Stone and his wife. Just as the strife of the Great Civil War blanketed our nation, on August 31st, 1861, 29-year-old Mendon native Sylvester Jack Wilcox purchased the Falls Hotel from Stone and his wife. By 1865, Wilcox had completely remodeled the Falls Hotel, adding a 3rd-story ballroom and a 2nd and 3rd-story porch. The new Wilcox House, also known as the Wilcox Hotel, despite other hotels, fulfilled its legacy by continuing its role as the central meeting place of the town. People crowded its porches for village parades. Dignitaries stayed there. Locals gathered in its saloon and billiard room. Sylvester Wilcox and his wife Marion became leading figures in the community. To this day, theirs is the largest monument in the Honeoye Falls Cemetery. Pioneers come from all places. Pioneers come from all times. In February of 1907, Union Star Lodge No. 320 began raising money to purchase a hall large enough to hold its growing membership. This group was about to embark on a pioneering venture unlike any before them. Later that same year, on the evening of November 17th, Sylvester Wilcox died at his home on Monroe Street at the age of 74. Besides his role as a prominent businessman, Wilcox served as Honeoye Falls village trustee for a quarter of a century. He was also a member of Union Star Lodge No. 320. Upon his death, the Wilcox Hotel passed into the hands of Sylvester's wife, Marion. On a deed that bears the date March 1st, 1915, Marion Wilcox, executor of the estate of Sylvester Wilcox, sold the hotel to George P. Lawton, Daniel F. Courtney, and Ann L. Courtney. The Wilcox Hotel continued to operate until 1920, when the property was purchased by Union Star Temple Association. Architect James R. Tyler of Rochester drew plans to renovate the nearly century-old hotel into a dual-purpose commercial civic meeting facility. For the next several months, under the supervision of Matthew Bancroft of West Bloomfield, the Wilcox Hotel, formerly the Falls Hotel, was transformed into a Masonic temple. Union Star Lodge's new temple, proclaimed at the time as one of the finest buildings for lodge purposes in the state, was opened to the public on November 15, 1920. Pioneers come from all places. Pioneers come from all times. Some actively pursue the pioneering opportunity. Some have the pioneering opportunity presented to them. Where do you fall? See what happens.
See where you land on January 7th, Thursday at 7:30. Now, if you'd like, you can actually remember that date by writing it down in your calendar. That's Thursdays, January 7th at 7:30. If you don't remember, you could just go on and register at our site, mhflsentinel.com. That's www.mhflsentinel.com. You can see I've got a big head. Woo! And you can register there, and we'll email you, and you can find out when it is. Now, here's the special treat just for you. It's another site that you can go to, a page on our site, and it's www.mhflsentinel.com. That's the normal site, /Pioneer Personality Quiz. Which of the 4 pioneers in Honeoye Falls history are you most like? Take this really fast 5-question quiz, and it'll give you the answer. It'll be a short answer. So if you want to find out more about these personalities, you'll have to listen to that special presentation that I'll be doing for the Mendon-Honeoye Falls Historical Society. Or if you say it correctly, the Honeoye Falls Mendon Historical Society on Thursday, January 7th at 7:30. Thanks, and we'll see you same time next week, Sunday at 1, with our normally scheduled Mayors and Supervisors update. Bye-bye for now.